Hi everyone, my name is Maggie and I'm a Stott Pilates certified instructor. From now on, I'm going to be posting videos so you can practice Pilates from the comfort of your house. I will begin with a few videos where I'm going to guide you through the warm-up, in which I'm going to be explaining you the 5 exit principles of Pilates. It is important that you practice these principles as we're going to be incorporating them in every single one of our workouts. Let's begin with the first principle. This is breathing. So, we're going to lie down on the mat and you're going to start breathing in through the nose and out through pursed lips. Every time you breathe in, you want to feel your ribcage expanding towards the sides and the back, and every time you breathe out, you want to feel that ribcage closing in and down. So, let's breathe here for a few times. Every time you exhale, you want to fully exhale and bring all the air out of your lungs. These full exhalations are going to help you engage the deep stabilizers of your lumbar and pelvic region. Those muscles are going to help you keep stability as you do the workouts. Usually in Pilates, we're going to try and work with our pelvis in a neutral position because that is the most stable and optimal shock absorbing position. However, sometimes we're going to have to work on an imprinted position. So, I will be guiding you now through a couple of exercises and how to find that neutral and imprint position. Let's lie down on the mat and let's start rocking the pelvis all the way back and all the way forward and go from one extreme to the other and find the in-between, the middle point between those two. You can almost feel as if you can have a blueberry under your lower back and you're not squeezing it. That is your neutral position. So now we're going to be testing those muscles that are going to help you keep the stability on that neutral position. And we're going to start moving the legs. So we're going to open the right knee towards the outside. And we're going to start sliding that leg away. Rotate the leg to the inside and bring that foot back to the start. Inhale as you open and slide away, and exhale as you rotate and you bring it back in. Let's do that one more time. And let's change towards the left leg. So, open towards the outside and extend. Rotate to the inside and bend that knee. Inhale as you open and extend. And exhale as you bring that leg back in. Let's do that one more time. As you are extending those legs, you want to make sure that pelvis is not shifting from side to side. Now, let's work into that imprint. The imprinted position, we're going to achieve it by contracting those internal obliques, those lower obliques. So, we want to contract those muscles to bring your hip bones up towards the rib cage. You can feel that lengthening on your lower back as you do this. So, let's start from the neutral position. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, contract those internal obliques and bring those hip bones up towards the rib cage. And inhale to release, and let's do this a couple more times. Every time you go into that imprint position, we want to make sure we're using only those internal obliques to bring those hip bones up, and we're not pushing through the glutes. So let's test that imprint. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, go into your imprint. Bring your right leg up to tabletop And then bring your left leg up to tabletop. Bring the right leg down, and then the left leg down. Make sure you're still in that imprinted position, and let's start with the opposite leg. Bring the left leg up, and then the right leg up, and bring the left leg down, and the right leg down. You can keep practicing these movements, inhaling every time you bring a leg up, and exhaling every time you bring them down. I hope you can practice these exercises a couple of times so you can learn how is the feeling of having that neutral and that imprinted position, so you can remember this feeling when we go later on into the workout. Your ribcage should be sitting within the bounds of the pelvis, and the ribcage is connected at the front to the abdominal wall and at the back to the spine. So we want to make sure we have that ribcage in the right position before we start moving, so we move the spine in the correct way. Let's lie down on the mat and I'll guide you through this exercise. So, like I showed you before, first we're going to find neutral through that pelvis. And once we are in that position, we're going to inhale to bring the arms up towards the ceiling, palms facing each other. And exhale to bring those arms up overhead. Make sure when you do this movement that the ribcage is not popping up or flaring up towards the ceiling. So keeping that connection, using those abdominals to keep that ribcage down. Inhale up towards the ceiling, and exhale, go up overhead. Inhale up, and exhale to bring the arms overhead. You don't need to go all the way down to the floor if your ribcage is going to pop up. So go only as far as you can feel you're having that connection in that abdominal wall to keep the ribcage down. We can repeat this exercise a couple of times until you can feel that connection in the abdominals and you can see that your ribcage is not popping up. The scapula, that is normally known with the name of shoulder blades, they should be sitting flat against the back of your rib cage, and they can move in 3 different ways: up and down, to the outside and to the inside, and they can rotate up and down. Now, I'm going to teach you a couple of exercises where we're going to be moving the scapula in all of these ways, and we want to find the neutral position between all of these points. Once we have found that neutral position, we want to stabilize the scapula in that place, so then we can start the workout and we can work all the muscles around the scapula in an even way. So, let's lie down on the mat and let's start with the exercises. First of all, we're going to find neutral through the pelvis, and we're going to feel the ribcage heavy on the mat. From here, we're going to start moving the shoulder blades up all the way, bringing the shoulders towards the ears and down as far as we can go. So inhale to bring them all the way up, and exhale as you bring them all the way down. Let's do this a couple of more times. And you want to find the middle point in between those two. Now from here, you're going to take an inhale and you're going to bring your arms up towards the ceiling with the palms facing each other. We want to keep the distance between the palms, so we're going to imagine we're holding a box and we're not bringing those hands either together or further apart. Now keeping that distance, take an inhale and you're going to bring the box up towards the ceiling. And exhale as you glide the shoulder blades and bring that box down again. Always keeping the elbows straight. Inhale as you reach up, and exhale as you glide down. Let's do this a couple more times. And let's find that in-between point between these two positions, which is going to be our neutral. Now from here, we're going to start rotating the scapula up and down. So take an inhale right here, and as you exhale, you're going to bring your right arm overhead and the left arm by the hip. Inhale to bring them back towards the ceiling, and exhale to switch. We're going to keep scissoring the arms for a few more times. And then you're going to bring your arms back by your hips. Once you have found all of those positions in that neutral, remember the feeling around your shoulder blades. Now you have the right position for them to start working. We want our head to be sitting right on top of the shoulders, and we want to have always that natural curve in our cervical spine. This is important because through the workout, we're going to be moving our thoracic spine, and the cervical spine always moves in the same degree as the thoracic does. So we want to make sure before we start moving that our cervical spine is in the right position. For this, I'm going to be teaching you a really small movement that is called head nod or craniovertebral flexion. So let's lie down on the mat and I will explain you. When you're lying down on the mat, sometimes you might need to have a little towel or prop under your head. This is because to find that right neutral position on the cervical spine, we want to have the shoulder and the ear at the same level. So once you find that position, we're going to start with this head nod. So you're going to be looking up towards the ceiling, and the movement is really, really small. All you're going to do is, as you inhale, you're going to change your gaze down towards your cheeks. Exhale as you move back up. Inhale, change your gaze down towards your cheeks, and exhale back up to the ceiling. We don't want to be jamming the chin towards the chest. The movement is really small. It's just the first two vertebrae in the cervical spine moving. So let's practice this a couple of times. And let's go into a full movement with the modified up breath. So bring your hands behind your neck. And from here, you're gonna inhale and do that head nod. And exhale and curl yourself and come up. Inhale to stay. And exhale to roll all the way back down. Let's do this a couple more times. Inhale through the head nods. Exhale and come up. Inhale to stay. And exhale to roll all the way back down. Let's do this one more time. And in the same way we do this in that supine position, we can do it when we are lying prone. So let's turn around and lie on your tummy. We're going to remove the prop for now. And what we want to do is we want to bring your hands right on the shoulder level, right outside of the mat. And the closest thing you're going to have to the mat is going to be your nose. But there's going to be a little bit of a gap between the nose and the mat, almost as if you can have a blueberry right under your nose. And what we're going to do is the same really small movements. You're going to inhale and you're going to push that blueberry from under your nose 1 centimeter to the front, and exhale to bring it back down. So inhale and let's do this movement one more time. Inhale as we push that blueberry, and exhale to bring it back down. Now from here, let's go into that extension of that thoracic spine to try this movement fully. So inhale and push that blueberry, and exhale as you extend that thoracic spine. Inhale to stay, and exhale to roll all the way back down. Let's do this one more time. Inhale and push that blueberry. Exhale and extend that thoracic spine. Inhale to stay and exhale to roll all the way back down. Always after an extension, we're going to go into that shell stretch. And this is all on the basic principles. From now on, I'm going to start working on all the exercises. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you soon.